Here are some photos of Darcy as he was growing up. Darcy was born on the 7th of December 2010 at Guide Dogs Victoria. His mum was named Tessa and his dad was named Cairo. He has 2 brothers and a sister. In February of 2011, Darcy was weaned and sent to live with his puppy raiser, Patrick, in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Over the next 13 months, Patrick would expose Darcy to as many different situations as possible, including public transport, shopping centres, and football games. Patrick was a primary school teacher. He attended classes with Darcy sometimes, and Darcy would learn to love the children. He loved belly scratches, and to this day, he still loves children. Thank you, Patrick, for these pictures. And also thank you, Patrick, for the wonderful work that you did in raising Darcy so that he could be a wonderful guide dog. So then, ladies and gentlemen, on the 1st of October in 2012, I had my matching visit with Darcy. He was brought to my home by the guide dog instructor. We had a walk and it was decided that we were a definite match. So I went into class with Darcy on the 29th of October 2012. We spent 4 weeks living at Arnold Cook House, which is the training facility for Guide Dogs Victoria. And within about 24 hours of class starting, the other clients had already called Darcy dopey or sleepy or something to that effect, because he was always just so chilled and always lying around, stretched out on his side, sleeping. Literally every time we stopped, he just started sleeping. So he got called dopey from a very early on. And I personally think that we were a very good match, because at that time I was good at sleeping as well. Very often in the mornings when the daytime supervisor used to come and get us out of bed because I was sleeping in, she used to walk down the corridor wearing her clippy-cloppy high-heeled shoes, and she used to knock on my door, and sometimes I would still be asleep, and very cheeky Darcy boy would still be lying on the bed with me, which is actually a bit of a no-no on guide dog class, but we broke the rules, and he still sleeps on my bed every single night, even now. That is just where he sleeps. So Darcy was very often called dopey or sleepy or something like that. Now, when I took Darcy home, we started having many adventures with, of course, my mum's guide dog and our retired pet guide dog as well. The boys, Darcy and Sheik, used to love playing together, and Darcy and Nerida, who was our retired dog, used to have very deep affection for the same toy, and we spent lots of time playing with the dogs and having really good family times. We used to take the dogs for lots of free runs after we moved house into a property with a much smaller backyard, and we used to take them to the local secondary school oval. Now, the oval for the secondary school and the oval of the Catholic primary school behind the secondary school actually share a fence, and one time Mum and Dad and I were taking the dogs for a run at the secondary school, but we didn't realise that there was a hole in the fence between the two schools, and somehow Darcy found his way through the fence and was on the other side, and we were calling him and he would not come back, and we finally figured out that he was in the other side of the fence. So guys, I'm sure you can just imagine what it looked like as the three of us, all with very low vision, were looking for this hole in this fence with our canes, trying to figure out where the hole was in this fence that Darcy had escaped through. So since Nerida had passed away, Darcy and Sheik still had lots of great playtime together. And of course, as you guys all know, now I have my new guide dog Penny, or Penelope, and her and Darcy hang out together and they are best mates. Here is a photo of Darcy, Penny and Sheik. It was taken at Christmas last year, the 2019. Darcy is wearing his blue service dog coat, and Sheik, who is a really beautiful golden lab, and Penny, who is quite a light-coloured yellow lab, are wearing their harnesses, and they are sitting on the tiles of the kitchen floor. So here is a photo of Darcy with his friends Sheik and Penny.
You gotta go that way.
During Darcy's work life, we had a lot of great adventures. The first big holiday that Darcy and I went on together was we spent 6 days travelling together from Melbourne. We got a plane up to Sydney, and then we spent 3 days on the Indian Pacific train over to Perth from Sydney. It was only about 14 or 15 months after I had got Darcy. It was in January of 2014. We had an absolutely fantastic time. Darcy did really well on that trip. He was loved by everybody. All of the staff and crew on the train for the 3 days loved him. A lot of the other passengers got to pat him and really got to enjoy having Darcy on the train. And he was a massive, massive hit for all of the staff on the train on that trip. We have also travelled to Sydney, and we have done lots and lots of other little holidays, but that was our first big holiday together, and definitely probably one of the highlight holidays that we had together. But we also had lots of adventures in Melbourne together. We went on the Melbourne Star, which is a big Ferris wheel thing that you look around the city of Melbourne. He has been to several different performances. He has been to a Delta Goodrem concert. He has been to a Missy Higgins concert. He has been to so many football games I cannot count. Go on the Sydney Swans. He has also been to a few things at Crown. I'm fairly certain he was with me when I went and saw the Deltones. He's been to several different theatre performances. He's been to Absolutely Fabulous and all sorts of things like that. But one of the main events that I really loved and always look back on was the day in 2017 when we were invited to go to Channel 9, which is one of the local television stations, and we got to meet the fantastic news presenter and also, as it is, an ambassador of Guide Dogs Victoria, Peter Hitchener. Now, Peter Hitchener is very, very famous in Melbourne. As I said, he is a news presenter on Channel 9 and he's got a lot of fans. He's a really great guy. And Pete loves the dogs. As I said, he's done some work for Guide Dogs Victoria. He has emceed at the Guide Dogs graduation a couple of times now. And I took Darcy to meet Peter at Channel 9 and we had a really great afternoon. We got to watch Peter do a couple of recordings for some news briefings. We got to see the studio and the newsroom and a few other things like that. And we had a really great time just chatting, and Darcy got to know Peter and it was really, really great. So here is a picture of myself and Peter. He is dressed up to present the news. So he's wearing a nice suit and a red tie, and I'm wearing a black and white shirt. And we are standing with Darcy. He doesn't have his harness on, and we are just standing with Darcy, and it was a really good afternoon. So here is a picture of Darcy and I with Peter Hitchener.
Now I could spend my holidays on videos galore.
A lot of people remember Darcy for how sleepy he is, and of course, being a guide dog, he was also very intelligent. He used to spend a lot of time with me in hotels. We did a lot of travel. We spent a lot of time here in what is now my hometown, but before that, we spent a lot of time up here on holidays. Darcy absolutely loves the Grand Hotel. It was his favourite place in Mildura before we moved here. He really loved chilling out on the beautiful tiled floor in the foyer of the hotel. He loved all of the staff at the hotel, and it was just his happy place. He absolutely loved the Rose Garden, which is a beautiful part on the outside of the hotel where they host a lot of weddings and things like that. But when we used to stay there, it was definitely the dog's favourite spot. It was where we used to take the dogs to go to the toilet as well. So it was a place where the dogs got very familiar with. One of the other things that people remember Darcy for is a term that I used to use a lot, and I still use it now, and it was actually one which I used when I was taking his harness off. And my friend Rachel, who I met a few years ago when her and I and another mutual friend went to a Missy Higgins concert with both of our dogs. Rachel was visiting from the United Kingdom, and my friend and I had our dogs with us, and we took the dogs' harnesses off to give them a toilet break and to give them a drink of water before we went into the concert. And Rachel always remembers that I didn't just tell Darcy that I was going to take his harness off. I always used to say to him, Darcy, we'll take off your brains, or take your brains off. So here is a photo of Darcy. He is sitting in some beautiful green grass, actually in the Rose Garden at the Grand Hotel, and he has got his brains on in this photo. They are the amazing memories we have of Darcy. Thank you all for sharing your memories. I'm sorry if you shared a memory and we didn't get to it, but there are just so many amazing things about for this boy. And Darcy, do you want to say thank you? Come here. Say thank you. Thank you. Darcy, speak.
Now I could spend my holidays on videos galore.
Woof, speak.
Or lie on the beach getting sorry and sore. Or I could sail the ocean, see another foreign shore. Well, I took my little
Good
Kelpie
boy.
and I sailed on all aboard.